Hey guys, today I'm going to do a review on the Leupold MX-321 flashlight. So besides for making high quality optics, Leupold also makes flashlights. They've been doing so for a while. And while they are high quality flashlights, I do have a few misgivings about them. And I will go into that later in the video. But let's get started with some basic facts. Okay, the flashlight is 5.5 inches long. And at its thickest point, it's 1.55 inches in diameter. The bezel is about 1.4 inches in diameter. Okay, Leupold states that this flashlight is 6 ounces. I think it's a little bit heavier than that. I do have my doubts, but I didn't weigh it myself, so I'll just leave it there. So, what's so special about Leupold flashlights? Well, they're modular flashlights, which is pretty cool, but there are other flashlights out there that are modular as well, including the 4.7's Quark. The Surefire 6P has different modules you can put into it, so it's not like this is the only flashlight out there that's modular. But how this flashlight gets its name is that it has an MX300 head, has an MX20 body, and has an MX1 tailcap. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is the only tailcap that's available for these Leupold flashlights, the MX1 tailcap. But there are different body configurations available. This is the 2-cell configuration, the MX20. So the 3-cell configuration would be called the MX30, and then the 1-cell would be called the MX10. So when you combine the MX300 head with the MX20 body and the MX1 tailcap, you get the MX321 flashlight. So the heart of this flashlight, the LED. This flashlight uses, you probably can't tell, but it uses a CREE XRE LED, neutral white. So Leupold claims. It is pretty good. I would say it's fairly neutral white. The term neutral white is, it differs from manufacturer to manufacturer. If you hear 4.7 saying neutral white, it's more warm white, I would think, but it depends. It's not a cool white, for sure. I mean, but it is a good neutral white tone. And this is a 4-mode flashlight. The head is, at least. All the electronics are in the head. So it has a selector ring control mechanism, kind of like the Surefire U2. You can see that the small dot is the low setting, the medium-sized dot is the medium setting, and the large dot is the high setting. And then this is the SOS mode. So the selector ring turns and clicks into place very positively. It's nice. There's no complaints about this. I think the head is kind of fat and big. That's really my only complaint about the head. I don't really like selector heads that much. I'm not that big of a fan of selector heads. So, naturally, I'm not a big fan of this user interface. Okay, so it is a push-button tailcap design. Show you right there. You can see it's kind of blinking. That's the PWM. It's a very low frequency. I'll talk about what PWM is later. But this flashlight is PWM controlled. You might see it blinking a little bit there in the medium setting, and even in the high setting it flickers a little bit. That's the SOS mode. Okay, so like all Leupold Gold Ring products, this is lifetime warranty, although for the electrical components and for the batteries, of course, the warranty doesn't cover that. It covers the electrical components for 2 years, I believe, and then the body is covered with their lifetime warranty. So the glass is sapphire glass. It's not tempered glass. So the advantage of sapphire glass, although it is much more expensive, is that it's much harder. So you have much more abrasion resistance. And if you notice here, there are threads inside the head. Now that is to accommodate 32mm Illumina accessories from Leupold. So you can put filters on here, color filters, red, green, or blue. or you can put a cover on here if you'd like. Some other features about this, the tail cap is double O-ring sealed, although the head isn't. This particular flashlight uses two CR123A cells. Now I like this. The threads, like you find on Surefire flashlights, they are very big, which reduces the chances of cross-threading. So that's very good. The flashlight body thickness is quite thick. It's not big enough for an 18650, but you can use a 17670 in here. Put this back together. Okay, so let's talk about the output modes. The low mode is 10 lumen for approximately 46 hours. The medium mode is 100 lumen for approximately 3.5 hours. And the high mode is 175 lumen for approximately 2 hours. And then you have the SOS, which runs for the same time as the low mode. Now, pretty much for every flashlight manufacturer, you have to be careful about the quoted runtimes, because more often than not, they're exaggerating a little bit. I haven't tested it out on the Leupold, but if this flashlight can run 175 lumen for 2 hours, I would be impressed. What they're probably using is the ANSI FL1 standard of measurement, which means that it will run for 2 hours until it hits 10% of its original output. So it's not actually running 175 lumen for the entire 2 hours. It'll probably drop out of regulation in 1 hour or so. So, not saying that it's a bad runtime, just that you have to be a little wary of that. Okay, so PWM, what does that mean? Well, PWM stands for pulse width modulation. Basically what that is the flashlight is turning itself on and off really quickly, faster than your eyes can notice it, and it's turning itself on and on in a specific pattern. So this flashlight in the low mode is actually in full brightness, but it's turning itself on and off at a rate which it appears to be dimmer than its full brightness. So I know some people don't really mind or haven't even noticed that a lot of their flashlights use PWM, but I'm a little sensitive to it, and I'm not a big fan of it. And particularly with fast moving objects, or with moving water, or dropping or falling objects, you can really tell the PWM. It'll be kind of like a really fast strobe, way too fast for your eyes to tell, really, but it will make some people dizzy, and it makes me dizzy. So that's one of the unfortunate things about this Leupold MX-321. You can also tell there's a noticeable PWM on the medium, and on the high mode it's a lot less noticeable. It's actually quite good on the high mode. So my overall impressions of this light: very well made, kind of heavy, useful settings. PWM kind of ruins it for me, but all in all, fairly good flashlight. It is expensive, very expensive, so I probably wouldn't recommend this for most people, but if you're an avid collector, maybe another one to put into your flashlight collection. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.